Are you going to beat a quasi-fascist with basically a country club Republican running against him? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me check something here. Really wonder why I'm getting all that distortion. I'll have to check out OBS. Oh, it might be OBS because I haven't updated OBS yet. I got to update OBS, I think. That's why it's happening. So, you ready for more? Can you take any more of this? So he also had Bruce Mosler there. Bruce Mosler is a big time real estate executive in New York. And he just happens to have donated olds and olds of money to former Florida Governor Rick Scott. Gave him $2,700, now a senator. He gave Heidi Heitkamp $2,500, that Republican who pretended to be a Democrat from North Dakota. He gave Bob Corker $2,700. He gave Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker $2,700. You know, that Wisconsin governor who destroyed unions and collective bargaining in Wisconsin. Wait, I thought Joe Biden was Union Man Joe. Well, he's taking money from people that fund union busters. Gave money to the DNC. Wow, he gave $30 million. $30 million to the DNC in October 2016 to try and get Hillary Clinton across the finish line. It's a lot of money to give to the DNC from one Bruce Mosler. Hillary Clinton he's given money to. Donald Trump he's given money to. He's an equal opportunity funder. He gives scumbags like Scott Walker money. He gives scumbags like Donald Trump money. He gives corrupt people like Hillary Clinton money. I mean, you can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up. So let's hear what Biden had to say at this fundraiser. Joe Biden said, the U.S. needs to restore the backbone of America. As our host said, you are all going to do fine, and you deserve to do fine because you've broken your necks, and you've done well, and you've earned what you've got, he told a room full of Wall Street and finance bankers. Let me repeat that. Joe Biden at a fundraiser at a infamous Wall Street short seller in front of other bigwig Wall Street people said, the U.S. needs to restore the backbone of America. And as our host at this lavish fundraiser in a $34 million apartment said, you're all going to do fine. And you Wall Street bankers and financiers and hedge fund managers deserve to do fine because you've broken your necks and you've done well and you've earned what you've got. But he said the middle class, the working class and the poor, they're in deep trouble. Well, let me give you a little economics lesson, Vice President Joe Biden. Let's give you a little economic lesson, shall we? The reason that the middle class, or what's left of it, is in deep trouble is because of the swine and scum you're surrounding yourself with in these lavish private fundraisers. And when you say they've broken their necks and they've done well because you've earned what you've got, well, yeah, I'm sure there are some people on Wall Street that are upstanding citizens and worked very hard to get where they are. My brother, God bless him, he works at a hedge fund. It's not a big hedge fund. It's a small-scale hedge fund. He worked hard. He's a good guy. We disagree politically, but he's not like from Goldman Sachs. However, the very people that you are taking checks of $2,800, and God knows what they're going to give your super PAC, these people are not, they just worked hard with their hands out on the ranch and came home and, took a shower after work. These are the very people that were involved with gambling with our money in 2007 and 2008 and destroying the global financial economy and then getting bailed out and getting massive bonuses after. So these aren't exactly the most upstanding men and women of America. But Joe Biden, it's like Hillary Clinton. Again, I give Joe Biden at least the credit for he's at least being open about his corruption. Hillary Clinton was saying and doing this in private speeches with no media present. Joe Biden is at least allowing some reporters in Those reporters aren't challenging Joe Biden, of course. They're just literally regurgitating what he said. So that's how I have access to even what he said last night. So at least he's being open and corrupt that he is basically, excuse my French, giving blowjobs to Wall Street for money. Is that too strong, Jen? I get a little out of line sometimes. You know, not that there's anything wrong with two consenting adults engaging in that, but I do think there's something wrong. I do think there's something wrong if you're doing it to get money and then you're going to pay them back as a government worker. I do think something's wrong with that. If you think something's wrong with that, go fund me right now. Am I being subtle? We got to hit that $60,000 before Sunday. We just passed 59,000. I think we could do more. See, I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I'm not having a private fundraiser with champagne and caviar at a $34 million private apartment like Joe Biden did last night. I'm doing it that hard, the grassroots way, through the viewers. And thank you to everyone who's donated today. Again, if you're coming to this late, I sent out an email, just personally asking for a little more support to get us to Miami and help us cover some other costs. So keep it coming. We are now almost $25,000 shy of our overall goal of $85,000. Once we hit that $60,000, I'm going to feel a lot better. So let's see what else Joe Biden had to say. The fact of the matter is, you represent a lot of really good people. You represent a lot of people in need. You represent everybody, he told a room at a major law firm. But here's the deal. The wealth gap that exists in the United States of America is so profound now. It's the stuff of which not revolutions, but political disillusionment occurs. Disillusion occurs. So he said this at the Paul Weiss, Rickfind, Wharton, and Garrison law firm, which is a law firm that, among other things, represents Wall Street banks. Oh, you guys represent a lot of good people in need. You represent everybody. You know, I love those lawyers who represent those good people in need at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo and Bank of America and Merrill Lynch. I love those good people. And you see the not so subtle shot he took at Bernie Sanders? Not revolutions, but political disillusionment. Well, Joe Biden, what the fuck do you think revolutions are based on? Disillusionment. Excuse my French, demonetized. I mean, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And at this event was none other than former congressman and head of the DCCC, Steve Israel. This is from Naked Capitalism, a good blog. Sorry, it's a little small. Steve Israel, he was there, and Joe Biden actually gave him a shout out. Joe Biden said to Steve Israel, shout out, you better hope I don't win because you're not staying on Long Island, he said. Meaning, I don't know, you're going to bring him into your administration? So Steve Israel was the head of the DCCC, that wonderful group. He managed to lose a net of 8 seats in a year when Obama won the country. And a much smarter DCC chairman just about swept the field and won tough races in Florida, Hawaii, Indiana, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Israel's incompetence and or lame strategy, which was being centrist neoliberals, that was his strategy, cost the Democrats races in California, in Colorado, in Florida, in Illinois, in Michigan, in Minnesota, in Nevada, in New Jersey, and New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Tennessee, Wisconsin. Talk about the man that you want in your administration. In 2004, Israel led the DCC to an even more disastrous, in 2014, Israel led the DCCC to an even more disastrous year by following his same lame playbook. He lost a net of 13 seats, primarily conservative Democrats who he had counseled to vote with the Republicans at every opportunity. Ugh. Just the guy I want at a fundraiser, and just the guy I want to say, hey, you better hope I don't win because you're not staying on Long Island if I do, Biden told him. I mean, you can't make this up. Between, telling Wall Street bankers you've broken your necks and you've done well and you've earned it, to telling the law firms that represent, the lawyers that represent Wall Street, oh, the fact is, the matter is you represent a lot of really good people. You represent a lot of people in need. You represent everybody. For those of you coming late, and thank you to Colin Tooley, does anyone else see a bunch of idiots' heads buried in the sand? Iceberg, right ahead. This is Hillary Clinton with a penis, and this is going to be the same exact thing in 2020 that we saw in 2016. The same exact result is going to happen. If we don't actually get some real reporting out there, if we don't actually counter the corporate media propaganda machine, if we don't get the facts out that Joe Biden is literally a Republican trying to get money from other Republicans who are corrupt and Democrats who are corrupt, forget it. Trump's going to win re-election, guaranteed, if Joe Biden is the nominee.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.